Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome back to Heroes in the Mist, a Curse of Strahd campaign. Now, this is hour 3, and our heroes are just following some tracks, but I thought it should be noted that all of this stuff that I've been doing here is pretty much homebrew additions to the campaign. So if you're looking to play the main campaign and you're wondering what's going on, I have taken liberties throughout this particular book to adapt some things and make it flow a little easier. So I'm hoping that my little creative touches here and there will improve the general flow of the campaign, both in the introduction and going forward. So, we are about ready to begin. The party was following the tracks of a wolf through the woods in the face of growing foul weather. Now, you were going south, I believe.
Tally-ho.
Yep. And Javak leads them southward. The tracks wind and snake around trees. They don't get too close to that brook that you crossed a little while back, but how long do you follow them for? Like until they terminate, or?
Stand by one, I'm dealing with something on Twitch here.
Sure.
He's avoiding running water.
Well, he crossed it once already.
Okay, so it's not like, and your level 1 monster is Strahd! That would be, well, it would be an introduction.
He crossed it already.
As far as I'm aware, Strahd can't turn into a wolf, but maybe he can. I don't know.
Yeah. So the rest of you, besides Javak,
I'm back.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah. How long do you want to follow these tracks for?
How long do we have until rainfall?
You're guessing a little bit under 2 hours at this point.
And how old are these tracks that we're currently following?
These tracks look to have been done in the last few days.
And how far back to town? Or time?
A little bit. At this point, you're guessing you could cut it at around 2 hours, maybe a little bit over.
Okay, so we're faced with a choice here. We continue into an uncertain future, and we likely get rained on and lose the trail. Or we head back and find shelter and then come back out here, at which point the outcome's pretty much the same. I'm thinking, all things being equal, we just continue following this trail.
I've weathered rain before.
Yeah, we're tough.
Okay. So you're going to go ahead and just...
Most of us.
Most of us. You're going to go ahead and face the weather.
Yeah.
And so you continue to follow that trail, and in approximately half an hour later, the trail, which had been moving relatively swiftly, suddenly stops, and you see before the group 2 bodies laying there in the ground. The bodies are clad in torn leather armor. There is a snapped spear nearby, just laying in the woods, and it looks like these bodies have been killed and left to rot, not eaten.
He just ate before he got here, so that makes sense.
Oh, good.
These bodies have been laying here for about a day and a half to 2 days.
Okay.
Wearing my type of armor, and one of them with my weapon snapped. That's not ominous at all.
Okay, so I'm going to... So it's pretty clear that we can tell what killed them, right?
Yes, the violent trauma from claws and teeth.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do the most logical thing and loot the bodies first, see what they had on them.
Okay, anybody want to do anything when the Goliath steps forward, or just going to stand back and watch?
Blow some bubbles out of my pipe.
Okay.
I will.
So Javak, yeah?
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, say that
It only
again.
makes sense if the bodies are being desecrated. After all, they're not going to use any of that.
Okay. And Gerard, what did you say?
I was going to help Javik if.
So you're gonna help loot the bodies.
If he doesn't, want to do it by himself
Right.
for whatever reason.
Teamwork.
Well, it's nice that you're finally helping with something.
So he kicks in and decides to be a team player for once, and they go ahead.
I
and
say
search.
that in character, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Throw a little Goliath snark in there.
You just
Well, it's
You're
all
just
we're
gonna-
responding to.
I'm sorry, was that?
Responding to it is beneath me.
Okay, so you don't
Smart
even...
choice, son.
Doesn't even say anything. So they go ahead and loot the bodies, one each, roughly. You find approximately 5 gold and 15 silver in pocket change between these two fellows. The armor is completely ruined. One has a short sword at his side, and one has a silver dagger. Aside from that, there is another intact spear laying off in the bushes not far away. You don't find any identifying marks, but you do find one of them has a little chain with what looks to be a iron, like an iron representation of a sun dangling from a chain about his neck. Looks like some sort of holy symbol or unholy symbol or something like that.
Clearly.
Javak isn't sure.
I'm going to take 2 of the gold for myself
Okay.
and the silver dagger, provided there are no objections.
No, what else was there?
Holy symbol.
Holy symbol, and that's it.
The pocket change.
Uh,
15 silver and
I'll take the holy symbol, even though clearly his god didn't help him very much.
Can you tell us what sort of god this was?
One that doesn't help people.
So all of them, but can you tell us which one specifically?
Probably, but let me make the check for him. Let's see if I can
go ahead.
whatsoever in seminary.
Also, do jot down what you do loot.
I did.
Okay.
so what?
Yeah, he.
left, by the way.
I'll just grab
Silver?
What was it, like 3 gold left, or?
yeah.
3 gold,
Yeah,
15
3
silver.
gold, 15 silver left. Yeah.
Dalek.
Yeah.
A short sword, a spear.
Dalek.
Yes.
You can take the spear and the gold and silver since you're so low.
Appreciate that. I guess it's good to have a backup weapon.
Okay.
And do you want the short sword just as backup weapon?
I have a mace and a crossbow.
I have a crossbow.
Sure, I'll
and
take
it. I mean, I'm like,
Sure.
I have a club,
Sure, if there are no objections, I'll take
a
it.
glaive, and a halberd and a two-handed sword. So I'm not.
When I look at this silver dagger,
Yeah.
okay, here's a stretch. Would I be aware of the cycle of the moon over the last couple of days?
Make a
Nature?
nature check.
Do you ask it out loud?
No, I'm just
I
thinking in
mean-
my head here.
The question is have you been hunting actively in the last few days? And the idea is that probably not, because you've been in the village taking up this particular task.
Right.
At least
so
one of those
No
days.
particular knowledge of the cycle of the moon currently.
Right, unless you'd have a reason to be out and about and figure it out. I mean, it's actually, you know what? Just if you don't want to make a nature, actually, you made a nature check. Let me
did.
take a look. The moon has been a quarter, at a quarter, so not close to full, not
Okay.
close to moon.
Okay.
So you smell here.
Right.
So I'm just going to take a brief, do these guys have recognizable faces?
Not anymore.
Okay, so it's just mangled bits of,
Yeah, they took a pretty good hit.
okay, specifically to the face, no identifying.
Yeah.
What about like tattoos, piercings, identifying marks?
You do a search for identifying marks, and the rest of you watch, I guess, as Javak strips these guys down.
Wow.
And they do not. He does not find any sort of identifying marks.
Okay, so just 2 dudes, one with the necklace, and they were strapped.
Right.
Okay.
Poor Yorick.
So,
You need
and
it.
it takes a couple minutes to do this.
Were they both wearing leather?
They were both wearing leather. Yes.
Okay.
Guess we're about to move forward, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else got anything they want to do before Javak continues?
No, we
Nothing I
got
can think
the.
of. No.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your survival check to pick up the tracks on the other side of this.
Here we go.
Yes, he does, and into the woods he bounds off again,
Not bounding
Now-
off, just pointing, and this is the way we're going.
strolling,
Yeah.
occasionally hopping over roots and rocks and so on and so forth. And so they head off. And generally the course goes in a southerly direction, although it does start veering back to the east, back towards the village. But about this time, the air has grown cool and moist, and it is becoming increasingly evident that a fog has rolled in amongst the trees around you. The thick trunks are still pretty much primary in blocking out your sight, but you do see wisps of fog just easing through the trees like a morning
Wait,
dew.
west or the east?
It's coming from the south, actually.
Okay.
The way you're coming
We're
from.
heading east. We're not moving away from it. We're moving
Right.
alongside it. So it's
Right.
up on us.
It's starting to coil in about, and it's not really becoming an issue.
Well, the wind was
yet.
blowing to the west, so it's blowing the fog towards us, is it not?
Roughly.
So
But
it's
the fog
gonna get thicker, is
Generally,
what I'm
yeah, it's going to get thicker, and it in fact does get thicker the more you
Okay.
follow the track.
So let's stay close. We're not going to lose sight of each other here.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And
Okay.
with what I got on my survival check there, I'm assuming I've got a pretty good course to follow.
Okay. Yes, you do. Go ahead and actually make one more survival check.
Okay.
Swing and a miss.
Okay.
That is a
Everyone?
natural one.
All right. So, in fact, everybody make a survival check.
All right. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, we got one more shot at this.
Okay. And you continue on to the east. You follow these tracks for quite some time as the mists grow thicker and thicker. It becomes a little bit more difficult to follow the tracks, but it is pretty evident that they're heading in the general direction of the village. And that is about the time that you lose the tracks. And that is about the time that Bellic realizes that you have not crossed that stream that you first crossed.
Hey guys, shouldn't the stream have been around here somewhere?
Now, using my knowledge of the terrain, I can confirm this.
Yes, and you probably should have crossed the stream. It's entirely possible that it bent and then curved a little bit before you got to it.
But unless it pulled like a 90-degree hook somewhere that I
right,
didn't
unless
see.
it pulled a 90-degree hook that you didn't see, and then you should have crossed it by now.
So it's being fed from somewhere that we haven't yet touched.
Right.
And these tracks are heading
These tracks are heading back towards the village. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to throw a theory out to the group here. The thing that got the boy doesn't live in the woods, it goes to the woods after it takes things. And I am guessing we've got a werewolf on our hands.
Or something similar.
Okay. That sounds pretty sound.
If it's heading back to the village,
Yeah.
It looks like it's heading back to the village.
I'm going to go ahead and guess werewolf.
We should probably head back to the village then.
Okay. Yes. Okay, yes. I'm going to be thinking pretty hard on the walk here.
All right, and so you continue. You don't have the tracks to follow anymore, but you do have a general idea of where the village is. So you continue on, and you know it's actually quite some distance. And as you walk along, the fog gets thicker and thicker about you until it is equal to the trees and blocking your vision. In fact, soon you're barely able to see one another in the forest, and the trees just kind of loom like shadows and odd figures, often amidst the fog. And you continue on towards the village?
Let's do that. That seems...
Yes. By now, you should have seen some sign of the storm, but all you see is the perpetual twilight about you darkening and darkening.
Coming on.
As-
We should have come to the farms again.
Yes, you should have hit the farms by now.
Okay.
It's probably a good thing that lady got firewood.
So at this point, the lucky Raven comes up in, gets another kiss.
All right, so you go ahead and he pulls out his raven's claw to give it yet another kiss for luck.
I am thoroughly
And-
creeped out by this, yet again.
Eventually, even the shadows of the trees around you are gone, and it is just the ground, a mix of gravel and grass beneath your feet. Not even the roots trespass into the mists anymore. And you are just basically alone. I mean, not alone individually, but alone as a group in a void of milky white.
No trees, no roots, just gravel and grass.
Okay. This is not part of the terrain, I can assume, that I
This
saw.
is definitely not something that you recognize.
Right, because when I took my little clifftop view there.
Yeah. Now, technically speaking, you should be in the fields, but not quite at the village yet. But
Right,
there are
but
no
the
fields
terrain
around
should
you.
have changed, but not into
Yes.
a milky white void.
Right.
Might I suggest that we stop here until the fog dissipates?
The prevailing wisdom when you're lost in the woods just to stay still.
All
And
right.
we are at this point currently lost as the terrain is unrecognizable.
It is eerily still. There is no wind, and yet the fog opens up before you, bit by bit, and closes in behind you slowly.
Javik doesn't like this.
How close do you let that fog get to you?
Oh, it's ushering us in a direction.
It seems to be moving, like this bubble of fog around you kept moving even after you stopped.
Oof.
That's
So it's moving us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like follow it or get tossed into.
Yeah, let's follow it. Yeah.
You don't really have a choice at this point.
Yeah.
No. Let's follow the bubble.
all right.
All right. All right. Just as the thick fog begins to get to you, you continue on your way. It doesn't really block out too much in the bubble that you're in, but immediately outside of that bubble, it becomes so thick that you're pretty certain that you would have even lost of each other if it had engulfed you. Before you, the ground starts to give way towards kind of the occasional stone on the ground, and then that grows thicker and thicker until it is laid out in cobblestone with grass growing up through the various cobblestones. At the edge of your vision on either side, you start to see shadows again, not of trees, but of buildings, not of the quaint thatched roofed cottages of the village that you were in, but of row houses and larger buildings, dilapidated, some of them. They all look relatively boarded up. You can't really see past the initial facade, and even that is obscured by an odd mist.
So is this layout at all even remotely
It is
resembling
not
the village?
even remotely resembling the village.
Okay, so we're somewhere else completely.
You have no idea where you are at this point.
Let's continue following this bubble because it knows where it's going and we don't.
Okay. And the rest of you continue your way?
Yeah,
Please don't stray. Let's keep a tight square formation here.
Square or triangular with
No triangles. We need to remain
in the center.
very close
We're just
to
saying,
the point where we are nearly holding hands.
Well,
Because,
technically speaking, a triangle would get you closer than a square in that area.
well, I mean, we're practically piggybacking here. This
Right.
fog is there's no good news in here.
We're doing that triangle with
yeah.
Hannibal in the center, in the mid.
Yeah, and I'll take point.
Right.
Really, are you guys sure you don't want me to just start running right out of the fog?
I'm 99% sure I don't want that.
And the 1% is just to see what would
You know, Javik's got an adventurous spirit.
98%.
Alright. And so you continue, and it is not that much further, maybe another quarter of a mile. Just the rows of buildings around you. They look as if they should be deserted. They're shuttered. There's boards nailed over about half of them, just as if they had been closed up for a long time. And yet, as you look, you see occasional peeks as if people are looking out of slats in the shutters to see you pass. You don't hear a sound. You do not see a soul until ahead of you, just as this mist seems to come to a kind of intersection. You see two figures on the road before you. One, a little bit taller than the other, but both look like children. Slender, pale, dressed in drab, dark colors. They just stare at you, as if waiting.
I stop.
All right.
Yeah.
You
I have I have friends that at this point would go, "It's the werewolf," and rush and attack.
No, we're stopping.
We all have
Full stop.
All right.
We all have friends who do that when it's normal kids playing with the ball.
Yeah.
And then they
So-
start using kids as weapons on
In terms of positioning,
Mm-hmm.
what I would like to establish is myself in the center and Bellic and Ames flanking me with Hannibal behind me.
That's
All right, so you basically form a line with Hannibal in the
yep, good.
Yeah.
That's good. That way I
All
can-
right, and the street is perfect. I'm sorry, what was that?
I think actually, given the fact that we're faced with children, I'm going to move out a little bit ahead of everybody else and crouch down so that I'm on their level and try to not scare the heck out of them.
Okay, as you approach,
Go by the monster first.
I'm really not worried about scaring the children. I'm worried about the children
Not in
scaring
this
us.
situation where they're out and
Right, but we don't
In
know.
this
We don't
area,
know it's.
but yeah.
We don't know we're in Ravenloft.
right,
Is that where we are? I don't know.
you have no
Exactly.
idea.
We don't know that something horrible's just happened yet. Except
No,
As
but
you
we are
approach-
we are in creepy Mist Town right now. I'm not taking chances.
Children out.
However,
Yeah.
I am also not attacking children.
yeah,
As you approach, the figures become clearer. One appears to be a slender, dark-haired, dark-eyed 10-year-old girl. Beside her, clutching a small, ragged little doll, mind you, is a 6-year-old boy, dressed in a similar manner, just in, more masculine clothing. The boy is just sniffling and rubbing his eyes, while the girl looks hauntingly at you, as if pleading.
Greetings, Tom.
How? Yeah, go ahead.
Might be able to tell me what yon village is named?
The girl places one hand on the boy's head, trying to stop his sniffling. Then she looks at you. I welcome you to the village of Barovia, but could you help me? You all look so brave and strong. There's a monster in our house, and we really need the help.
well,
What sort of monster?
She points down the road. It's big and it's mean. I can hear it. I haven't seen it, but I can hear it. It makes all kinds of horrible sounds. Our parents locked it in the basement, but we haven't been able to. We haven't been able to see them since.
Your parents?
I can. Yes, they're in our house. We can show you the way.
Give me 1 second. And I'm calling Bellic back, and we're doing a little group huddle.
yeah.
Okay.
Come back.
I'll keep
I'm
reassuring
I-
away from children before moving back.
just.
They don't seem to actually be that displeased, but they are looking at you pleadingly as you hustle back.
Okay, I'm just gonna put another theory out to the group here. Something's up, and if there's anything I know, tactically speaking, it's that you don't want to go down and fight in a fucking basement because there's no way out.
Bingo.
Right.
On the other
This-
hand, there is a chance that this is the wolf that we're hunting.
There's a non-zero chance. I will grant you that.
But
What other leads do we have?
Out there.
What other leads do we have, really?
supposedly it's been locked up in the basement, so how would it have gotten out?
No, I'm talking if we go back down into the basement.
Yeah, we don't go into the basement. There's no way in heck I'm getting in that basement.
That's, yeah, okay, you and I are of the same.
Yeah. Doesn't seem tactically sound.
No.
Nothing's creepy locked up in a basement. You don't
Yeah.
go down into the basement.
I mean, if they've got it locked there, like, they're good, right? We can just move on.
Or
Like, they
are
can
they?
figure it out.
Maybe
The
it's
10-year-old and the 6-year-old, they got this.
Yeah, we have to check it out, but we don't go into the basement.
Really, you stare daggers at me because I won't chop wood for a 30-year-old
Fair
woman.
enough. Fair enough.
This
Fair enough.
is
Treating bad.
Hey, listen, I will help a woman who just lost her child, but when I walk into a mystery town coated in mist and get approached by orphan looking children, alarm bells are ringing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I see both sides. I mean,
So we should do more than we should do a little more than zero. But we
Yes,
should
not,
I-
say we
my
need it
vote,
now, but we need to be smart about it.
yeah, my vote for course of action is to not do literally nothing, but to proceed cautiously.
Yeah, I'm with
Okay.
you on.
So I'm gonna go approach the children.
Okay. The children look at you as you approach. Are you going to help us, sir? I know our little baby brother is in there. His name's Walter, but we haven't been able to contact our parents since they locked the monster in the basement.
Wait, why couldn't... I'm confused here. Your parents locked the monster in the basement, yes?
Yes,
Did
yes.
they
but
lock
we haven't.
themselves in with it?
If you haven't seen it.
We don't know. All we know is that we hear this thing crying and snarling and growling from the basement.
Have you seen
Does
it?
it sound like a wolf, this thing?
What does a wolf sound like?
I make wolf sounds.
Okay, this is sometimes.
Okay. I wave the group along with me, and I ask the little girl to show us the way to her house.
She beams a smile that really lights up her gaunt and thin face,
I think she's adorable.
and immediately she turns to walk down the street. It's a right-hand turn, sharp right-hand turn, and then you walk down a street that is much like the one you entered on. The fog keeps up with you, just barely concealing the houses on either side, and eventually she comes to one of the row houses. The house on either side is abandoned. They almost directly abut each other, and I believe they actually touch. This particular house doesn't actually look that decrepit. It's seen better days, mind you, but it's not actually falling apart. There's a balcony up on. It's about 3 stories, maybe an attic on top. There's a balcony up above, facing the street. There's a gated portico, and the gate is a kind of a rusted iron. It's got a lock, but it looks like it's ajar. Just a couple inches, not enough to actually.
Who uses a
slip
jar
through.
for a lock? Weird.
That was
Anyway,
one
I carry.
that joke.
The windows aren't
Got 'em.
boarded up. yeah,
Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah, I used that joke, and it was old back when he did.
Anyway,
Old.
The windows aren't boarded up, but they are dark. Like there's no light on.
okay. So what's the girl doing as she approaches this house?
They actually fall into step behind you, letting you take the lead.
Oh, do they know?
Yes,
Okay.
they do.
I don't let them get directly behind me.
Okay, well, they don't get behind the entire group. Just they're letting
They're letting us go full.
the 8-foot Goliath
Yeah.
Okay.
go for it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, yeah.
I mean, we can do this the easy way.
I
Okay,
asked
let's...
if they've seen their little brother at all.
No, we haven't. The last we saw him, he was actually in the care of our nursemaid.
Okay,
But we
so
haven't
we've got
seen her either.
just brief tactical assessment here. We've got an unknown creature in the basement. We've got your nursemaid living in the house with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Our parents are quite wealthy.
We need...
Although
They're wealthy,
quite
you
frankly,
said.
well, yeah, it's a
Relative to this
fairly
place, or wealth?
relatively to that place apparently.
Okay, so we've got your parents. What are your parents' names?
It's on the prior page. Our parents are Gustav and Elizabeth. We're the Dursts.
Elizabeth?
Yes. Dursts,
Durst?
like Fred Durst.
Okay. No
Their
relation.
mom
And nursemaid's name?
and dads.
Yes, hold on. I know I should have had this prepared. Bitch, they don't have it mentioned.
There's Cratchit.
It's our nurse is named Gertruda.
Gertruda?
Yes,
And what was your baby brother's name?
Walter.
Walter. Walter. How old
Yes.
Walter?
Keep asking them until they mess up so we know they're lying.
What's your nursemaid's name again?
She shakes it. She Gertruda. She shakes a. I'm sorry. She shakes a head. My name is Rose, and this is my little brother Thorn.
Rose and Thorn. That's poetic.
Rosavalda and Thornbolt.
Okay. How old's Walter?
Oh, Walter, he's just a little child. He's less than a year old.
Okay, infant.
Little baby. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's not.
Nursemaid.
So I'm standing in front of a rusted iron gate.
Yes, and there is just a little bit of space between the gate and the door.
And the door is currently shut.
The door is indeed currently shut.
Any noises evident from where we stand?
Make a perception check.
Here we go. Oh, hey.
Nice.
All right, Hames does hear just kind of like a faint creaking sound from the house, as if somebody was moving about. But other than that, everything is silent.
There's no snarling, is there?
No.
Haynes, you hear anything?
I got a natural 20 on my perception, so I'm actually paying attention.
Oh, Hannibal got natural 20.
Okay, Hannibal, you too hear a faint creaking sound, as if somebody were moving in the upper levels. But other than that,
Yeah, I got a 19.
Yeah, someone's moving in the upper level.
Okay, but you're not hearing a monster in the basement?
Yeah.
15%.
Well, she did say that the sounds were constant.
Right. And we're not hearing them.
Right.
you are outside the house.
Right, but if we can hear footsteps in the upper levels, we'd be able to hear a monster in the basement.
If it
It's a good
were
decision.
active at the moment, as, like I said, the girl said that it was not always making noises.
Oh, I
No,
thought she
they-
said it was
they-
constantly making
No, it
noise.
was not constant.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna walk up to the front door.
Okay, you open the portico.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the portico.
Okay, you pull open the iron gate, and it shrieks on rusted hinges.
I
until
tell
it's
the
open.
girl that she should really see about getting
And-
that oiled.
As you look back to address the girl, you have noticed the mists have kind of closed in, so it's basically just you guys on the front porch of a townhouse.
Oh,
and
nothing
she's
else is
gone.
visible.
Okay, this is
The,
not ominous.
the children are still there, but they're just at the edge of the mist.
There's no way this is good.
Okay, so I wave the kids in.
They shake their heads. No, not until you've dealt with the monster. It's too scary.
I go and pick up the kids.
They back up into the mist.
Shit. Do I see them anymore?
You can still see them in the mist. You continue forward into the mist.
Okay, I'm not. No, abso-fucking-lutely not.
They're okay with the, yeah. They're okay with the mist. You know, those kids are
Yeah, no, I do an about face and I head for the door.
okay.
All right. You enter the wrought iron portico, and what you see is a. First of all, it's unlocked. There are a pair of oil lamps hanging down from chains, flanking a double oaken door.
Ooh.
Are they lit?
The oil lamps are not lit, but they look like they could be at any moment. In fact, you could probably take one off of the chain if you wanted to.
Yoink.
Okay, so you
Right.
take an oil lamp.
Yep. Let's get this one lit.
Go ahead and light the oil lamp. You've got material to
I
do
do have
so.
the materials to do so,
Okay.
absolutely.
It doesn't take long to go ahead and light the oil lamp, and soon you're all bathing in the faint, merry glow of a soft
that?
oil lamp.
Okay, I'm gonna light the other one and hand it to whoever's in the rear.
Okay, so both of you, who is in the rear?
Good question.
That'd be Hannibal, I believe, right now. But
Hannibal's in the middle of the back.
yeah, and now, yeah, once you're in,
I'll take
once
the
you're
light.
back in.
I thought Bellic was taking rear guard.
So Bellic is going to take rear guard once you're inside.
Is that what we want to do?
I mean, it's Bellic or me.
Yeah.
That's anyways fine with me.
All right, let's put Bellic in the back with the other lamp,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt to open the door and see what my lamp shows me.
Okay. The door opens relatively quietly compared to the portico. It is a chamber approximately 15 foot long by 10 foot wide with a double set of doors on the opposite side. On the south wall of this area is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms, stylized to resemble a windmill upon a red field. There are framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats on either side. Mahogany-framed double doors lead into the main hall, and they have panes of stained glass upon them.
He went
Wait.
silent again.
I'm doodling here. These two unconnected vertical lines would be the portico.
Oh. There we are.
Then we've got the
Right.
entrance.
Yes.
And then the main room. This is an accurate representation of what we're
And
looking at here.
the portico is only about 5 foot deep, but yes, roughly.
Okay.
And you've got like a wall on this side.
Okay,
So
so
you've
the
got,
left and
like-
right sides are just walls,
Yeah,
and I've got the next set of doors ahead of me.
right.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and sketch in the portico right here.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's roughly what you're looking at.
Okay. Well, let's just go.
And the south wall is here. Whoops. It is. Let me adjust this. Here. That's the south wall.
Okay.
So you could actually just rotate this 90 degrees. I'm assuming that your Goliath senses can tell what direction, even when you don't have much point of
Yeah,
reference.
I'm pretty good at knowing
You're
where
just-
I am in space.
I could make you roll, but you're probably just going to natural 20 it.
Okay, so let's continue heading east.
Heading east into the main area. You get to the inner double doors, and you open them, correct?
Let's have a quick
You-
listen.
Listen to the doors before you get into them. Go ahead and roll your perception check.
All right.
Oh, good.
You don't.
Roll a natural 20.
Nice.
Right. And do you all move in by now?
I'm
No.
I'm staying close behind the person that's right in front of me.
All right. Right, but you're all inside the structure at this point,
Yeah.
right? All right. Outside, you've left the doors open, but you can see the mist just kind of right in front of the door, like it just went up to it and stopped.
So those kids are gone.
You can still see their forms out there in the distance, but they're not directly. They're like at the edge of perception, further back into the mist.
I do not like those kids one bit.
All right, and also nobody hears a thing. This house is deadly silent.
All right, I will open the doors.
Okay, you open the doors. It is a larger hall, approximately 15 feet deep and approximately 30 feet wide, but a large spiral staircase is on the right-hand wall, taking up from about 10 foot in on the top and then swinging around to about the 15 foot on the bottom, and just occupying that entire side of the room.
So could you draw that spiral case in for me?
Yes, I will. Just one moment. Oh, and the wall is parallel with this, so
Oh,
it starts here and then goes this way.
okay. Hang on. Let me just erase
You can
that
actually, I
shit.
think you should be able to just drag it and drop it.
I'm going to get all my messy crap out of the way. If you just want to draw that in for me so I'm not...
Okay, just give me one moment.
Oh, there's a
Why
rectangle
do I-
shape tool.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's a lot of doors and shit in here, so just give me one moment. Da 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 da. Da da. It's not a door. This is a really shitty fireplace.
Okay.
Da da da. Da 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 da. You've got a door here, and then another door here. And then you've got kind of
So is it double doors or just two separate doors?
it's two separate doors.
Okay.
Another door here. When I do a double door, I'll draw one thing and then draw a line through the middle of it.
Okay.
And then you've got another door here.
Jesus, how many doors does this house have?
They're rich.
Yeah, but this is
They want.
the weirdest layout I've ever seen.
It goes like this, with the stairs like kind of like this, and they go up like that.
Okay, so it's like a tower
This
type
is
thing.
yeah. This is like a. I mean, from the outside, it's square. It's like blocked off here,
Okay.
but yeah. And then you've got a door right here, and then you've got There, the stairs open up like this. And I will give you the proper description of the room in just a second.
All right.
So those stairs head up and counterclockwise.
A wide hall runs the width of the house, apparently, from the outside. So you know the house is only up to, up to here from the outside.
Okay.
And the stairs are on the side wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the staircase is of red marble. The fireplace I mentioned before is of black marble. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace is a long sword, and it appears to have a small little red windmill imprint on the pommel.
Those families definitely a little rich.
The walls are wood paneled with ornately carved images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs.
So we have 5 doors and a staircase. Staircase heads up, correct?
The staircase does indeed head up.
And that's where we heard the movement.
But it could be fake, since we can't hear anything now.
Yeah, you cannot hear a thing now.
Well,
So
the
we
movement was our clue.
Doors,
Let's
left to right, top to bottom.
move.
The good news is that your lights light the place up very well.
Excellent.
Good.
Let's move to this. I'm going to move to that door immediately to the right of where we just walked in, and I'm just
Immediately to the right of where you walk in. What do the rest of you do? Do you come into the main, or do you stay in that?
I think we should
main
all follow.
entrance?
We should all follow him
Yeah.
right now.
Okay. As you all enter the main room, the doors leading outside the house slam shut.
Of course, they are.
Bam!
Of
Well,
course.
there we go.
This feels safe.
No,
And on that note, it is time for another break, or we can wrap it here and pick up on the next session.
Yeah, it's almost 10 in West Coast time, so you guys living in Central, which is in the future.
So I will give it up to you. Do you want to continue for one more hour, or do you want to wrap it
no,
here?
we have to get up in
At like 5 a.m.
Yeah,
5 a.m. our time, so
yeah. So it's a good place to wrap
Okay,
it up. All
I'll call
right.
it here.
So we will call it here now.
hey, it was enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
And we will
Oh,
schedule
yeah.
when we can.
We
We'll
will
let you know when
reschedule.
we-
Yes. Okay. And does anyone want to bid them farewell with anything? Anybody have anything they want to add? They want to plug that
I have
sort of thing.
One thing I just want to add in terms of
Go
what
ahead.
we've been doing here. It is a 10 out of 10 for atmosphere. I am thoroughly creeped out.
You guys are fantastic.
Thank you very much. I have been trying to run this or something similar to it for some time. Hopefully the rest of it will continue to be enjoyable.
This is great.
All right. And for those of you watching on YouTube, this has been the RPG Crawler with Heroes of the Mist, a Curse of Strahd campaign. If you like what you've seen, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more RPG content, and I will see you next time. Take care, and goodbye.